Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So, in today's video, it's going to be Gley absolutely annihilating the Wall Crasher with well over 1,000,000,000 plus damage in a minute. So let's get on into the setup first of all. Now with Gley for this build, it's going to be fairly simple. It's still going to be a gunning build, so we will still be using mid-air maneuvering. However, we will also be using, for once, Predator Instinct. Now this means we are going to be using a weapon and a firearm style build with Gley. So let's focus on what Gley actually needs. Let's start off with cooldown. With cooldown on Gley, this is going to allow you to achieve a perfect loop. So for cooldown, we're going to be going with 3 modules. We're going to be going with MP conversion as well as nimble fingers. And then for our final cooldown module, we will just be going with focus on non-attribute. This will allow us to loop our cooldown perfectly. And to match the cooldown loop, we will be going with the other aspect of that, which is going to be duration. So for duration, we'll be going with skill extension as well as maximize duration and battle of stamina. Now, even with just these 6 mods with Gley, you can see here my loop is already basically perfect. So our loop is balling, and now we've just got optionals in terms of survivability. So let's start off with first of all adding increased HP. So we'll be going with some increased HP. Now all of these mods are basically optional because, well, we've got 3 slots. The first thing I'm going to be adding in is going to be shot focus for more firearm attack on our weapons, and then I'm also going to be adding auto immunity. This will allow you to basically not have to bother with the phases from the Wall Crasher and just allow you to annihilate him basically and just ignore all the mechanics, because we love ignoring mechanics just like Nexon love nerfing mechanics. So now for our last module, we are gonna actually take it the other way. We're gonna go with our trigger mod first. We're gonna go with Kuiper hollow points because we are going to be grabbing the module that counters this, which is called Weak Point Analyst. Essentially what this does is give you more HP recovery up to 15 stacks and also more weak point damage. This also likes to give us some more weak point damage as well. So this is going to allow us to basically absolutely rip him apart with a weak point focused weapon. Now, which weapon, you may ask? And if you're thinking it's the last dagger, or it's the cavalry gun, or it's the excava, or anything, hell, even maybe the Greg, nope, it's none of them. The weapon of our choice for today is going to be the one and only Blue Beetle. So we'll come back to the Beetle later. Let's focus on the reactor. For the reactor, you can basically use anything you want. However, the main thing you want is the substats to be cooldown and duration up. These are a non-negotiable on Gley. These are her best substats, and this is what you 100% need to run. Now, let's have a look at her external components. Because I did mention before, we are going with a weak point setup. We want to be using 2 pieces of ballistic tracker. And then we are also going to go with 2 pieces of fire rate because Gley never needs to worry about the ammo because she's just the GOAT. So we are going to be going with that. Now for the components, let me give you a quick rundown of what you would want. For Gley, you would want max HP and fire resistance. However, if you use this on other Descendants, MP recovery out of combat is all good. You'd also want You'd either want max MP and MP recovery in combat for other Descendants, but for Gley specifically, you would want HP recovery modifier and chill resistance. For other Descendants, you'd want electric resistance, defense, and or MP recovery modifier, but this is all good for Gley. We just need the 2 resistances, and defense is always a pleasant thing as well. For the processor, all you would want is the toxic resistance, and that's pretty much it. Shield recovery modifier doesn't affect Gley because of course she doesn't have any shields. And for the cores across all of these, you just want to go with max HP and with defense. Now let's have a look at the RK tuning tree for Gley. Now because this is for a firearm style, we are going to be focusing on this. We'll grab a little bit of extra HP, and then we are also going to eat into multi-hit. This is because of course we have the off chance of our weapon applying multi-hit, and when it does, it's going to be a lot more damage. We're going to go straight for the affinity damage because this is going to make our weak points hit a lot harder. Then we are going to go with crit rate and crit damage for, of course, you know, crit rate and damage. Then we're going to go across here and pick ourselves up for some more duration just for that Gley loop. Now, let's have a look at the weapon. the Blue Beetle is going to be our weapon of choice today. Ideal stats are fire rate, firearm attack, electric attack, fire rate, and then for the yellow one you can either go with sprint speed or grapple if you would like. I think grapple might be slightly better because the Wall Crasher arena is kind of big, but this is all good anyways. For your substats you'd want either crit rate, crit damage, multi-hit chance as an essential, weak point damage, or electric attack. So any one of these is going to give you a good kick of your damage. For this weapon on the Beetle, this is the build that we are going with. It's going to be a fairly standard build, but just completely based towards weak point. So we've got our 3 crit mods being better concentration, better insight and concentration priority. Then we've got our 1 fire rate mod over here, our 1 damage mod which is firearm attack or action and reaction, Then we've got our 2 weak point modules, weak point sight and have aiming, and then double element with electricity enhancement and priority. For the Beetle, this is going to be perfect, and I'll show you the reason we use the Beetle right after the inversions. For the inversions on this build, we basically have a few options. The main thing is going to be strike point amplification for weak point, and then I'm going to go with selective cellular stimulation, as well as adrenaline surge, just for a little bit of extra nice movement, specifically with Gley. Now, the reason we use the Blue Beetle is because of this insane 7.84 times weak point damage multiplier. That is absolutely cracked. Now, other than that, Ancestor mods. If you've got an Ancestor mod with Gley, the main thing you would want is 100% going to be duration. Now, if you do get a duration up cooldown Ancestor mod, you can do something like this. Slap it on instead of the focus mod, and as you can see, my loop now has 5.6 seconds of cooldown versus 11 seconds of duration. I believe with a red duration on your Ancestor mod, you might be able to get this to 15 to maybe up to 20 seconds, so that's going to be insane and will in turn allow you to deal plenty more damage. Now let's get on into some gameplay. I did just clip the Wall Crasher that I just did, so I'll quickly show you the gameplay for this specifically. So let's get on into that. Now I do want to give a massive shout out to 7TV. He is the absolute Giga Gley. He's the man who put this together, and I am just basically reposting his build at this point, and I'm all for it. He's an absolute top tier Gley player. Make sure to go show him some love and support in the description, and this is how we would play Gley. We start off by just going into the Wall Crasher, then we just start aiming at his shoulders. His shoulders will be taking the most damage. As you can see here, my crits are already over 1 million. When we run this, with this, ideally you'd want to be paired up with an Enzo and or a Sharon. And when you do this, you can see you just want to aim for weak points. It's absolutely just annihilating him. All of these bullets are over 1 million damage, 1.6, 1.7 plus million damage on weak points on the shoulder there, as you can see. So you want to be focusing on his shoulders the absolute most. Watch his health bar absolutely fly down. It is just ridiculous levels of damage, specifically with Gley. This is the absolute giga nuking Wall Crasher build, and yeah, you can see at the end of a very simplistic 52 second run, this is what we got put with. We got put with a nice clean finish of 1.4 billion damage. That is absolutely cracked. Next up, let me show you this run over here. So one more quick run. Is this the same run? It might be. No, it's not the same run. So another quick run over here. You can see this here. Again, same story. We just go in and absolutely start annihilating his weak points. Same thing and same gameplay style. Shoulders are going to be the weakest. Once we destroy them, you get over about 1 million. Give it a second. The longer you fire the Blue Beetle, the better it gets. More damage, so on and so forth. Want to grab the enhanced rounds from Enzo to get even more damage. It's just simple, and you can just watch Wall Crasher get absolutely melted by Gley. It's such a fun setup, and honestly, I love the Blue Beetle. It's one of my favorite weapons, and this absolutely takes it to another league, so it's something you definitely want to go with. But anyways guys, that's basically been today's video, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button, and if you are new here, please do consider subscribing. I make plenty of videos on the first Descendant, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. I expect to find some more Gleys hiding in Wall Crasher with this one. But yeah, as you can see here, at the end of this run, we still ended up cooking very, very, very hard in this setup. And at the end of the actual run, our DPS was a beautiful 1.4 billion again. It's very, very consistent. But yeah, that's been today's video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. Please do smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.